teach the early childhood education class here at Crescent City High School. I've been a teacher here for 27 years. About 20 of those we've had the early childhood education program. Currently I have approximately 60 students in the ECE program. And the program itself is designed to help students have an opportunity to explore the education and development of children 0 to 8 years of age. So they're able to come into the program as a 9th grader, which for them is a benefit because if they find they don't like the program, they have an opportunity then to move into another CTE program. So we encourage 9th graders to at least try it. They learn about the child care industry. They learn some of the aspects of what goes on in an elementary classroom. In the first part of the program, we spend a great deal of time talking about the developmental domains. We want them to have a real solid base of how children grow and develop. In that health and safety is also a major issue when you're talking about young children. We spend a great deal of time looking at how do we create a healthy and safe environment where children can explore and learn. And the third thing we spend some time on in that very first unit is guidance. You know, we do teach subject areas. Obviously, we teach science, math, whatever. But we also, emphasize the idea that you're teaching a whole child. So the idea that you're teaching them guidance, ways to develop pro-social behaviors is a major part of what we do. We want these young children to be able to function in society. Once they're through with the first part of the class, they move into ECE2, and this is where we get to develop curriculum. They start to look at what the state standards are for the children in kindergarten through 3rd grade, and then they have an opportunity to develop lesson plans, to look at developmentally appropriate practices, and this is where they have a chance to be very creative, and there's displays around in the classroom that show their creativity. This is a portion I really like because they sometimes don't realize just how creative they are. And they look at that state standard and they think, how can I teach this? And suddenly the light comes on and they have a creative way of doing it. So they look a great deal at things like the importance of play, how they incorporate play so that children have a chance to self-explore and self-teach. They look at social studies, math, science. We spend a lot of time teaching literacy concepts, art, and music. So they have an opportunity to look at a wide spectrum of curriculum in ECE 2 and 3. We also, however, recognize that not all students want to be in the classroom. They may like the subject matter, but they actually don't want to be in the classroom. So they have an opportunity in ECE 2 and 3 to go out to Middleton Burney Elementary School. We've been going out there for about 20 years. We started when Mr. John Milton was principal, and they've always welcomed us. It's a huge benefit for our students because they get hands-on experience. They work in a classroom under an assigned teacher, and they either work one-on-one with children or in larger groups. So they really have an opportunity to see, does this fit me? But we find that some don't like the experience. They realize that being in a classroom is not what they want to do. So we do take the time to talk about other careers that early childhood education background would help develop. So for instance, they may want to be in some kind of social services, some coaching aspects, health services perhaps, pediatrics. Some of them, because they're creative, like the idea of doing or creating children's clothing or even creating curriculum. So we look at other aspects other than just teaching. One of the best benefits this program offers our students is the opportunity to develop a professional portfolio that they can take to an employer, and also we have them in ECE 3 take the Department of Children and Family Services 45-hour online class. So they already have the background from early childhood education. They go through the program, the 45-hour online program, and then we go to Daytona State and they take the state exam. And most of my students have been very successful. And the key for them is that allows them to be hired once they finish high school. So even if they're not sure this is what they want to do for the rest of their life, they have an opportunity to be employed because they have this professional portfolio and they have this DCF certification. So I've had several of my students in college who've been hired at a daycare facility because they had these two items. So it's to their benefit, and it's just one of the steps that we have them take. Another positive thing about this program is the Career and Technical Student Organization. It's called Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, FCCLA. It is a leadership training and community service organization, and our students benefit greatly because they take those skills that they learned in FCCLA and apply them to their careers, to their families, to the community. So they get to compete state, locally, nationally. We've been to San Diego and San Francisco and Chicago and St. Louis. So they've got some really wonderful memories and also some skills that they can use for the rest of their life. If I were going to push this program or advertise this program, I would say this. I think it is a wonderful opportunity for high school students to look very closely at education, to look very closely at careers related to young children, and to understand that those first 5 years of a child's life are the most significant years. And any work that they do in that area, if they've got the education behind them, is going to be a plus. It's going to help develop young children into members of society that we can all respect and appreciate. So I love the program. I enjoy teaching it. I think it has some wonderful benefits, and I've had some success stories with students who are teaching out of the elementary school right now or working in daycare. So it's been very beneficial for our students.